June is Pride Month, the annual celebration of the LGBTQ community. For years, it's been marked in Florida by raising pride flags on government buildings and lighting up bridges and buildings with rainbow colors. There will be a little less of that this year. The city of Clearwater will not raise the flag at City Hall because, according to the city manager, some employees asked why the pride flag is raised, and the city does not do that for other causes. And as Axios reports, state-controlled bridges will be lit only in red, white, and blue this summer and not in rainbow colors. This follows a series of laws and policies passed in recent years that roll back equal rights for LGBTQ people. For instance, there's the Parental Rights in Education bill, which opponents say is actually a Don't Say Gay bill that restricts what teachers can discuss in the classroom. Florida has banned transgender women and girls from participating in female sports. Trans people cannot use bathrooms in schools and other government buildings that match their gender identity. Minors are barred from receiving gender-affirming health care. Adults face more hurdles to accessing and getting insurance coverage for transition-related medical care. State agencies have barred trans people from changing their driver's licenses to match their gender identity. And according to a Human Rights Campaign Foundation survey, 80% of transgender or non-binary Floridians do not want to stay in Florida. The imposition of state laws against the LGBTQ community slowed this year, though. In the legislature, 21 out of the 22 measures that had negative implications for lesbian, gay, and transgender Floridians failed. So, Carlos, let me start with you. Has Florida become a more hostile place for the LGBTQ community?
Well, there's no question that basically DeSantis and his extreme allies in the legislature have succeeded in making Florida synonymous with homophobia, synonymous with transphobia. My goodness, after that list of things and laws that they have passed, policies they have enacted attacking LGBTQ people, you almost have to catch your breath. And it doesn't even include attacks on drag queens, the banning of books with LGBTQ content in our public schools. But ultimately, as we begin Pride Month, we know that LGBTQ Floridians like myself are more proud than we ever have been before. We are resilient, and we're also not going to be deterred by petty rainbow light switching on a bridge. We know that the tide is turning here in the state of Florida because this anti-LGBTQ agenda that DeSantis has enacted is beginning to crumble in the courts. We know that parents and families are speaking out at school board meetings to assert their own rights for every family to be respected and for every student to be protected. And we see that Floridians are growing tired of these culture wars that really do nothing to improve their lives. All they do is divide us. But it was especially refreshing to see those residents in Jacksonville take matters into their own hands when they brought high-powered rainbow flashlights to the Acosta Bridge in defiance of DeSantis's petty decision to cancel the rainbow lights on the bridge in that city and across the state of Florida.
Okay.
They're showing the true meaning of pride right there.
All right, Pam, let me bring you in on this. Do you think that Florida has become more hostile to the LGBTQ community?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
I do not believe that. As a matter of fact, 20 out of 21 bills dealing with LGBTQ either did not pass or have been set aside. And as for the bridge not being lit up in rainbow colors, the red, white, and blue is signifying, this is something that DeSantis brought forth, actually the Department of Transportation did. They brought forth the fact that this is going to be the summer of freedom from taxes, and parks are going to be free. Recreational items that you want to purchase between Memorial Day and up until Labor Day will all be free. There's also this business about driver's licenses too, and whether or not your gender assignment at birth can be changed on the driver's license. That has been set aside too. As for flying the flags on government buildings, pride flags, people associate government buildings with the state flag, the state of Florida, and the good old red, white, and blue American flag. And you're looking at publicly funded buildings. Curriculums, K through 3, Governor DeSantis had already signed into law that children are not to be sexualized with that particular content. And that is, yes, it is. So No, he did sign that. He did sign that into law. It's baked in the cake.
Hold
These
on,
are
Carlos.
typical anti-LGBTQ tropes that have been used against us for generations. There's a number of things here that need to be corrected. First of all, the driver license policy that denies trans Floridians the ability to update their driver license has not been rescinded. That is still the policy that the DHSMV has rolled out in the state of Florida. There are ways around that. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the reason 21 out of 22 anti-LGBTQ bills this year were either stopped or neutralized is because people showed up to the Capitol building even after Governor Ron DeSantis himself endorsed many of these policies and put pressure the old-fashioned way to persuade the lawmaker to reassert in the wake of the governor's collapsed, failed presidential campaign, reassert its independence as an independent branch in government that can actually be used to solve problems rather than divide people.
Well, and the latest school board meeting in Pinellas County did bring forth parents that do not want to see sexualized material in the school libraries, and they have been found.
What would you like to say?
They should use their rights to deny their own child access to materials that they find objectionable. What they don't have a right to do is deny access to library materials for other people's children. Everyone has their own parental rights, including the parents and allies of LGBTQ people.
All right, April?
Well, I think that the focus really has to be on more important issues than these personal issues and these social issues. And let's look at the economy. Let's look at the things that are important to the voters and to the American people. I think that these are important issues to a great deal of our voters and our public, but I think that they need to be dealt with on a more reasonable basis. I also think that there was somewhat of a feeling that there had been with like the flying of the flags. We only fly the pride flag at City Hall. We don't fly any other flags. So why are they getting special recognition? And I think part of it was to just kind of rein that back in a little bit and equalize things. And let's recognize the America, the good old USA, and move forward.
Carlos,
celebrate all of our diversity. We can celebrate Juneteenth. We can make sure that we raise flags to create awareness around gun violence prevention. And we can fly the red, white, and blue colors on national American holidays at the same time that we can also fly rainbow flags and colors. These are not mutually exclusive ideas.
Victor, one of the big questions is when did the culture wars start, and who started the culture wars? Because we've had a series of legislation.
Well, to be honest with you, this was a part of Ron DeSantis' harebrained scheme to run for president because he thought that if he went to the right of Donald Trump, that he would somehow gather these conservative voters. And you know what they miscalculated on was how strong Donald Trump really is within the Republican Party and amongst the core voters. All this stuff to me is very petty. I mean, this is a free state. This is a free America. It's a shame, you know, that the Skyway Bridge, for example, is going to be stuck with red, white, and blue all summer because the colors are flying to support gay rights is not going to hurt the bridge or anybody else for that matter. And this started, actually, the NBC Nightly News did a national story just a few days ago by people are leaving the state because a lot of people came down here because DeSantis made this, you know, a place where you can come and not wear a mask and not get a shot and be free. But people, once they get here, they were just tired of the culture wars. They want to leave the state of Florida. They're also tired of the high taxes and high insurance.
Okay, to be continued.